Okay, here we go. Well, good afternoon, everybody. I'm Brian Custer, the host of Showtime Championship Boxing. Welcome to the final press conference for Broner versus Santiago. And on Saturday, Showtime Championship Boxing is back with a triple header of fights. And the main event features the return of the former four-division world champion, Adrien "The Problem" Broner. It's been 2 years since we've seen the problem in the ring, but he's back and he will be the main event fighter on Showtime Championship Boxing, taking on an unbeaten Jovanie Santiago in the main event. We're going to talk to the fighters here about their fights. We're also going to take your questions. All you've got to do is hit the raise your hand bar there on your Zoom. We will call on you so that you can ask questions of the fighters. We will start with the main event. And then, of course, we'll go to the co-main with Otto, Wallin and Dominic, Breazeale. And we'll then go to the first fight of the night that you'll see as former lightweight world champion Robert Easter Jr., of course, taking on Ryan Martin. But let's start here with the main event. And we have Adrien. We've got Jovanie. And Adrien, let's start with you. 2 years since you've been in the ring. And listen, you know, we talked on my podcast, you talked about your return and a changed man, changed fighter. You know, there is still a number of people who, will question whether or not Adrien Broner can make 140, whether or not Adrien Broner will be throwing more hands this time around. And you told me the only way you can answer those questions is with a spectacular performance on Saturday. And in your words, what is a spectacular performance for you for Saturday?
I've had so many great performances, but I'm looking for another great performance Saturday night. I know he's coming to fight. I know that. Anybody who fight a name like me, a guy like Adrien Broner, is gonna always train to their best ability and be at their best shape and form. So, I'm not looking at this as a fight that I just go in and destroy this guy. I know he's coming to fight. And he's undefeated. He's hungry, and I'm just coming to do what I got to do to get my victory, man. You know what I'm saying? Look good inside the ring and outside the ring.
Jovanie, considering you haven't fought outside of the Dominican Republic or Puerto Rico, this will be your first time fighting here in the States. You haven't faced anyone at the level of Adrien Broner on your record. Many have already written that this will be a one-sided fight. What's your response to that?
Es tu primera pelea que vas a pelear aquí en Estados Unidos y enfrentando a Adrien Broner. ¿Cómo ves tú esa pelea?
No, es una gran pelea. Estoy sumamente preparado. Vengo a demostrarle a Broner y al mundo quién es Jovanie Santiago y una gran oportunidad para mí.
This is a great opportunity for me. On Saturday, I'm going to show who I am. I'm going to show Adrien Broner that I'm ready to fight.
Cesar Cardenas from TGB Promotions doing the translation for us. Adrien, let me ask you this. Your motivation this time around, it has been 2 years. You're a new man, new fighter, you say. What's your motivation and what in the sport are you still looking to accomplish?
Shit, right now we just trying to beat COVID. That's the best. Fuck the opponents. We just trying to beat COVID. I want everything to open back up, and I want people to come back to the fights, cause it's starting to feel like a game. Like it's not. This is not real. Like this is some bullshit. Like it ain't no people out there. Like this ain't real. Like we gotta stay away from each other. We can't get in each other's face. I like putting hands on people in press conferences. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like this don't feel real to me. So you know what I mean. But once the bell ring, I think everything gonna go away, and then it's just gonna get straight to business. Then it's time for me to whoop somebody's ass, and that's what it is.
And when it comes to what are you looking to accomplish? Because you said there's still a lot more. I mean, you've been a world champion 4 times.
It's just I feel like I'm gonna be a world champion again and again and again and again and again. You know, until I'm really done with boxing. Yes, I took 2 years off and retired and let my body heal and rest, but I just really feel like, you know, I got what it take to win more championships and in different weight classes. So that's what I'm gonna do.
Jovanie,
Juan,
you know, it has been 2 years since Adrian's been in the ring. You know, he's been very public about, hey, look, I worked hard. It took me a while and I had to drop, you know, over 35 pounds, things of that nature. You've been active. You've been fighting. How important is it for you to dictate the pace of this fight and take the fight take the fight to Adrian to see where his conditioning is?
tiene 2 años que no pelea. ¿Tú piensas que tú vas a ponerle presión para que él pelee tu pelea?
Yo vengo, todo depende de lo que sea la pelea, porque no te puedo dar un pronóstico ahora mismo, pero con lo que Broner venga, yo estoy sumamente preparado para lo que él venga.
I'm not saying what Broner is going to do. Whatever he brings to the table, I'm going to beat him Saturday night, and I'm ready for this fight. This is the opportunity of my life.
You know, also, Jovanie, you said, quote,
También tú dijiste,
toward the boxing scene, all the pressure is on Broner Saturday.
toda la presión está sobre Broner el sábado.
He's a good fighter,
Es un buen peleador,
but you don't see anything special.
pero no miras nada especial en él.
When I beat him,
Cuando le ganes,
the world will know who I am.
el mundo va a saber quién soy.
Explain what you meant by all that.
Explícame qué quieres decir con eso.
Como te digo, ahora mismo, Broner piensa quizás que no soy nadie, pero está equivocado. Llevará 2 años inactivo, eso no dice nada. Yo sé que él quizás vendrá bien preparado y así nos hemos preparado nosotros para dar una gran guerra ese día y que gane el mejor.
At this point, Broner might think he has an easy fight, but he's in the wrong. I'm here to fight. I'm here to win, and I'm going to take this victory on Saturday when we're ready.
Adrien, listen, he says all the pressure's on you. Doesn't see anything special in you. What's your reply to that?
Hey man, at the end of the day, he's here because of me. You're here because of me. This whole cast is here because of me. So, you know, that's special. You know, Saturday night, you know, only thing's gonna be special is this ass whooping I'm giving out. So he'll know then. You know, you talking to somebody I ain't punched yet. When you talk to somebody like, and you punch them, like they talk different. He ain't gonna be talking like that after Saturday.
Listen, one of the things that you've talked about is you want to show people that you can make a comeback and make a spectacular type of comeback. Generally, different things happen to people, a seminal moment in their life where they have to make a change. I know it's happened to me. What was that seminal moment that happened to you last year where you said, you know what, enough of what I've been doing, it's time to make a change?
I went through a lot of things, honestly. The way I live my life, man. You know, I went through a lot. And, you know, one day I just woke up and I said, I'm done. You know, I got to get my shit together. And in order to change, you got to make change, you know, or you'll steady get caught up doing the same thing. So, you know, I cut a lot of stuff off. I stopped doing a lot of stuff and, you know, I got myself together and it was a long road to get to where I'm at today and I'm here.
What's the message you send into the 140-pound division on Saturday night?
Man, yeah, listen, if y'all got a belt, man, just hold on to it. You know, I know y'all get one forever, but, you know, the ones that's coming to me, that shit gonna be mine, you know what I mean? I'm coming to sweep it all up, you know. WBA, WBO, WBC, you know, IBF. You know what I'm saying? I'm coming to get them all.
Jovanie, final statement here before we take questions from the press. Give us your final statement on what we should expect Saturday night.
No, este sábado se van a esperar una guerra de ambos. Yo vengo a hacer mi trabajo y a buscar esa victoria para Puerto Rico.
This Saturday night, it's going to be a war. It's going to be a war, and it's going to be a victory for Puerto Rico.
Adrien, before we take questions from members of the press, give us a final thought. I mean, so many people have written, can't even make 140. Will he be a change fighter? Will he throw more punches? What should we expect Saturday night?
Hey man, you know, you just expect a hell of a show. You know, I know he coming to fight. He from Puerto Rico. Puerto Ricans they come to fight. Mexicans, Puerto Ricans, they all come to fight. So I know he coming to fight, but I ain't just do all this training to go in the ring and not fight. So he gotta know he's to come to a war. He's gonna be in a war too. So, you know, he gotta know that. He better be coming with a lot of equipment because I got a lot of equipment coming with me, man. So you know, I'm just ready to put it all on the line. Like I don't know how he feel though, but like I'm willing to die in there. Like, I'm willing to put my life on the line. Like I'm willing to like give it all. And like I ain't got shit left. Like I'm willing to do that. I don't know how far he's willing to go. Like he might start thinking of his kids, grandkids, aunts, and nieces. I don't know. But I'm willing to say fuck everything. Like I'm willing to put it all on the line, bro. I'm ready.
I love that one thing you told
Yo
me.
también estoy listo para morir.
He's
En la
ready.
raya, como decimos en Puerto Rico.
He's ready to die in the line, like we said in Puerto Rico.
I love that.
Que le gusta.
I love that.
I think we got to fight. I think we got to fight. Greg Domino from Showtime is going to acknowledge the members of the media who have questions. Greg, let's take our first question.
Excellent. Thank you, Brian. Our first question is from Jeremy Hergis of Fansided. The floor is yours, Jeremy.
Hi, Adrien. Hi, Jovanie. Thank you for your time. This question's for Adrien. Adrien, I know during the opening comments, you used the word retirement at one point. What had you thinking retirement? Was there a specific reason? If you can talk about your thought process for that, and did you really mean it?
I don't know how long you've worked without taking a break, but for me, it was like from 6 years old to what 30. I never took a break from boxing, and I was just like, you know what? Let me just take a break. I need to take a break. So you know that's what I did, and now I'm missing boxing again, and I'm back in it, and we back to it, and we back to it on Saturday night.
Final question from me for Adrien. As far as getting back into it, I know you talked about, I think you said you had to lose 35 pounds to get to where you are now. How hard was that for you? And did you question yourself at times?
Nah. I've been doing this all my life, man. And you know, from the first day, once I woke up, I told GT like, man, let's go do it. I just been at it. You know, I knew it was gonna hurt. I knew I wasn't gonna like what I was putting myself through, but I knew it would all pay off. And you know, I'm here today, and I'm ready to work.
Thank you, Adrien, and best of luck to both of you.
Thank you, Jeremy. The next question is from Fago Franklin. Please unmute, and the floor is yours.
Hey, how you doing, Adrien? This question is for you. What did you learn about yourself having to overcome obstacles that happen in your life?
I learned that I could stop having sex, man. You know, that's one of my biggest problems. You know, I like to party. You know, I like fucking. So I had to cut it all out, the partying, the drinking, you know, and just get serious with my career and you know, become that elite fighter and take back over the sport.
Thank you.
Thank you, Fago. Just a reminder, if you have questions for Adrien or Jovanie, please raise your hand within the webinar and I will call on you. Once called upon, just unmute yourself. The next question comes from James Conlon.
Hi, Adrien. Just in terms of that break, in terms of 2 years, has this been probably one of the most grueling training camps you've ever been on? And have you enjoyed that sort of fact? And in terms of doing your homework on Jovanie, what you know about him?
You gave me like 3 questions in one, but I'll answer them. Yeah, it's been a hell of a training camp. Maybe one of the toughest because I had to get back in rhythm. I had to get my rhythm back, and coming back, losing all that weight, and then working as hard as I do. Of course it was tough, and then you know, I didn't want an easy fight, so I picked a guy like Jovanie because I knew he's going to push me and bring the best out of me. So that's what I know about him. I know he's a good fighter. He's an undefeated fighter, and he's not here to lose.
And lastly, for me, just in terms of Jovanie, this is probably the biggest name that you fought so far in your career. And in terms of doing your homework on Adrien, have you watched some of his fights back to pick out some of his key strengths or weaknesses?
No, sí sé que es la pelea más grande de mi carrera y esta pelea pues no la puedo desaprovechar. Tengo que darle el máximo ese día y así va a ser, darle una gran pelea.
Yeah, I know this is the biggest fight of my career. He is a big in name, and I'm going to come with everything Saturday night, and I'm going to try to win for Puerto Rico, like I said.
Best luck, both guys.
This ain't soccer, bro.
Thank you. Next up, we'll go to RL Woodson from Bite Down Boxing.
Hey, how you doing, AB and Jovanie? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, bro.
Oh, my bad. Welcome back, man, and looking forward to Saturday night. A lot of us got a chance to see what was going on with you in the process by watching GT, man. So I'm just wondering, we've seen you with Kevin Cunningham in the past. What about GT made him the right fit for this task right here and coming back?
GT is one of my coaches, but the head trainer is my regular coach, Mike Stafford. And I always looked up to him. A lot of people don't know who GT really is, but he's someone who could have been one of the biggest boxers in the world. I watched him since I was a kid, and he's been there. He's been on the side of me, and him and Coach Mike, shit, they know what to do to bring the best out of me. So Saturday night is gonna be a hell of a performance.
All right. A question for you, Jovanie. How do you process the talk of Broner getting his life together and a new him on Saturday night? Is it your job to prove him wrong?
Sí, ese es mi trabajo. Este sábado demostrarle a Broner que va a tener que pelear, que espero que venga, como él dice, preparado, porque ese es su regreso y yo no tengo nada que perder, él sí.
I don't have nothing to lose. Adrien Broner has all the everything to lose on Saturday night, so he better bring his A game against me.
All right. Thanks for your time. Best of luck to y'all Saturday.
Thank you, RL. Next up, reporting Ellie Sekback.
Hey, Adrien, how's it going? What's up, Brian?
Reporting.
Hey, Ellie.
Hey, so Adrien, you're the biggest showman in boxing. Let me quote you. You always say fresh, fly, and what is it? Flashy. How is it going to be for you to walk in a stadium that's going to be empty where you're the one that brings out all the crowds that draws all the attention?
Man, you know me, man. I don't give a fuck where I'm at. You can put me in the bathroom, I'm gonna put on the show. So, of course I always want fans there, but without the fans, that means it's going to be more viewership. So, I'm expecting the numbers to be good, and that's, everybody can't wait till I fight. So, Saturday night, the numbers are going to be good, and I'm going to put on a great performance.
One more question, Adrien. You have a lot of celebrity friends. Who's some of the people that are hitting you up that are excited to see you get back in the ring?
Oh, man, a lot of people, man. I don't want to just throw names out there, but they all just happy for me. more so that I really changed and got my life together, and I'm back in the ring. So, everybody just happy to see me do what I do.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ellie. The next question will come from Kenyon Atchison.
Hey, how you doing today, Adrien?
What's up with it?
Hey, I got a question for you. Are you going in looking for the knockout, or being that you haven't fought in a couple years, are you anticipating on just getting a few rounds in?
I'm not looking for. Hey, listen, man. I know a lot of people like, man, they don't know this guy, but these guys like a Jovanie can be very dangerous because a lot of people don't know him. I know that he's a good opponent. He's coming to fight. He's undefeated. So I got to stay on my A game. I'm going in to get the victory. Whatever presents itself. If a knockout presents itself, I'm taking it. You don't get paid for overtime in this game, and that's just what it is. But I'm definitely coming to get my win.
Okay. And for Jovanie, what exactly is it that you expect to see out of Adrien come Saturday?
No, yo espero que él va a venir a hacer una gran pelea como siempre, porque como todos sabemos, Broner siempre da unos buenos espectáculos y nada, vengo preparado para lo que él venga y veremos a ver qué pasa este sábado.
AB always puts in a show, so Saturday he has to be ready to put his own show against AB.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you. So we'll take our last question now from Joe Sewell.
That sounds crazy. What are you doing?
Joe, you there?
You good, Joe?
Joe, you have to unmute yourself. Joe?
Can you guys hear me?
Got you, Joe. Go ahead.
Hey, what's going on, AB, man? Good to see you back in the ring, man. So, I just got a quick question for you, AB. You sound like you rededicated yourself to the sport of boxing. So the plan is, Adrien, if you get a knockout, who are you looking to fight next? What's the overall goal, Adrien?
The overall goal is to get past this fight first. In boxing, you can't look past no opponent. I don't care how everything looks on paper. You can't look past no opponent because in boxing, you're only one punch away from a knockout, and that's on both ends. So, what I got to do is go in and get my victory, get my hand raised first, and then we're going to go to the drawing board. So, the plan for me is get my victory on Saturday night.
All right. Thank you, AB. Good luck, man.
All right. You nervous than a motherfucker.
Is that it, Greg?
That's it.
Okay, thank you very much. Before we wrap this up, one thing I thought you said that was interesting, Adrien, had said you talked about coming back and taking over the sport again. And when we talk on the podcast, you made the point that people need to realize I'm still only 30, 31 years old. I'm still young. In this comeback, is it conceivable that Adrien Broner could become one of the pound for pound best like he was in his prime, supposedly prime heyday when you were winning title after title? Is that possible?
Of course, man. But everything happened for a reason, and I think this is going to be a great start. And like I said before, I didn't want no easy way out. So I could have came in and took a bum and took somebody that was just a pushover, a look over. But I'm not doing that. I love competition. So I want somebody that's gonna come test me and bring the best out of me. And that's why I picked Jovanie. And Saturday night is gonna be a hell of a fight.
9 p.m. Eastern, it comes your way. The main event, Adrien "The Problem" Broner taking on Jovanie Santiago, unbeaten out of Puerto Rico. Gentlemen, let's have a quick face-off. Please make sure you stand there behind the tape. And then we'll go to the co-main fighters next.
And if you have any questions, and I will get to them in order that I'm receiving them. Thank you very much for your patience. I'll give you an update as we're close.
Well, on Saturday night, Showtime Championship Boxing, triple header of fights. Broner, Santiago, the main event. The co-main, we roll out the heavyweights. And we've got a matchup of some top contenders as Dominic Breazeale makes his return to the ring, taking on Otto, Wallin, young man who we've seen a couple of times here on Showtime Championship Boxing. They will highlight the co-main event. And Dominic, let me start with you. First fight for you in nearly 2 years. It's been since we last seen you. You know, they always say in sports, you're only as good as your last performance. So how much is this fight Saturday trying to put away that loss to Deontay Wilder?
You know, it's excited to be back here. It's been about, like you said, 2 years now, but a year and a half. I'm excited. Yeah, you're only as good as your last fight, but at the same time, this is my coming out party. I feel like almost in a sense, it's like my pro debut, you know. It's been off for a long time. I know we had some fallouts and opponents, but I had a great camp, and I'm excited about Saturday night.
Otto, you've certainly been active. So we've seen you obviously coming off that win over Travis Kaufman, but it seems like the boxing media tends to forget that. You know, all they write about is Tyson Fury and the fight there. So how much is this fight on Saturday for you about changing the narrative that you're not just a guy who gave Tyson Fury a good fight and some nasty cuts?
Yeah, I think that, I mean, everybody wants to ask about that fight, and they forget that I've done a lot more than that. But it was a great performance, so I understand it. Most of the people had never seen me fight before, and that was the first fight, and it was better than what most people thought. So, I mean, I'm kind of over that now when I move forward, and it's nice to be here on Showtime, fight with Breazeale here, who's got a good name. So hopefully with this fight, can beat him and then move on, and people start seeing that I'm able to beat some good guys.
Dominic, I read on the boxing scene, you were quoted as saying, Otto Wallin is going to realize that he has bit off more than he could chew. What do you mean by that?
You know, it's one thing to be in the heavyweight division, and I know there's some word about there being a division of, you know, 225 and below, a different heavyweight division. When you're in the ring with a guy like myself, 6'7", 250 pounds, you get hit with a Mack truck. It's really being hit by a Mack truck, and that's what I mean by it. In the heavyweight division, there's respect for guys who can fight. There's respect for guys who have speed, and there's respect for guys who have power. I'm a big, athletic, strong guy, and Otto's going to find out Saturday night.
Otto, let's talk about that. Bad Left Hook did an interview with you, and you said, quote, I'm more well-rounded than Dominic Breazeale. What do you mean by that?
I think I am more well-rounded, and also you can't forget that I'm actually 6'6", 240, so I'm not that small. I know a lot of people look at me that I'm smaller, but I'm not that small. With that being said, I think that I'm smarter. I got a great team. We have a great camp, and I got really good tools. I'm faster than Dominic. I got better footwork, better defense, and better offense. So I got to bring that in there and just do what I'm good at, and it will all be fine.
What do you think a victory over Dominic Breazeale does for you going forward here in the heavyweight division?
I think it will hopefully help, you know, moving past what we talked about with Fury, but also it will put my name up there at the top, I hope, to solidify my spot there. And I don't think only with this fight that I can get a title shot, but it will be a good step on the way.
Dominic, you are certainly, from the last time we've seen you against Wilder, a changed fighter, not only in the way you look, but even your corner. So you certainly have made a lot of changes. Tell us why.
I think the changes were done at the right time. You know, I made a trainer change going into the Wilder fight. Nothing against Virgil Hunter, a great world-renowned trainer. Just wasn't the right fit for myself at the time. I made a change with Abel Sanchez now, and the Summit Boxing Gym up in Big Bear, California, and it's been huge. It's been one of those things that I wish I would have done years ago. Abel's actually got this thing written on the wall. It says, "Imagine what if." And I imagine what if every night. I wish I was there a year, 2 years ago, but the 7 weeks that I was with them was a blessing in disguise, man. My conditioning level is better, my strength is better, my confidence is through the roof. But at the same time, like sometimes subtle changes in a boxer's career is what it takes to get you back to the mountaintop, and that's what I'm trying to do. I've been there twice now, and I'm on the road for the third time.
here's the intriguing thing to me about this fight, because we've got two top contenders in the heavyweight division and two guys who fought the three top guys in the heavyweight division: Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury, and obviously Deontay Wilder. So what do you think a win over Otto Wallin does for you?
You know, I think it puts me right back in the swing of things. Not that I ever fell out of it, but at the same time, a guy like Otto, like I keep telling people, is great opposition. So the type of situation where, you know, I've been off for a year and a half, maybe 2 years now, and people say, well, you should have just took a pushover fight. Take somebody that's just in the swing of things. That's never been my stature. I've always wanted to fight top guys, and I saw Otto Wallin's fight against Tyson Fury, and I love the performance he put on, the athletic ability he did, and then, of course, the Travis Kaufman fight. When the name was brought to my attention, I was like, yes, I jumped all over it, because I knew that the boxing world would respect the fight against myself and Otto than they would just some random.
Give you the final words here. Tell us, what should we expect Saturday?
I think you can expect a good fight, two good fighters. I think that Dominic probably feels that he has a point to prove and probably going to come out there, be aggressive, try to come after me. I'm sure I won't have to look for him, and I'm ready for that. So I think people can expect an exciting fight, and I'm ready for it. And it's going to be a good night of boxing.
Everything written about this fight talks about Dominic's power and how you're a boxer. But in these kind of fights, isn't this one of those kind of fights where you kind of got to get your respect to show him, listen, I can throw too, and I'm heavy-handed as well?
Yeah, I think, like I said, Dominic, he is an aggressive guy. So I got to be smart with that too. I can't just let him be who he is. I got to be who I am, and, you know, try to make some traps for him and set him up. And I think I will be able to do that.
Give me a final word here before we take questions from members of the media.
I think Otto's white. I think it's going to be an exciting fight, man. It's going to be fireworks type of a deal. Like you said, I'm an aggressive guy. I'm not going to stop. You know, I'm not going to pump the brakes. It's going to be pedal to the metal the whole time from the opening gate. He can set as many traps as he wants, man. I'm not going to fall for him. I think at the same time he's a great boxer. But I don't think he's ever been in there with a big, strong, athletic guy like myself. And once I land the leather, game plan is going to change. I mean, Mike Tyson said it best. Everybody's got a game plan until you get punched in the mouth.
All right. Greg Domino from Showtime will acknowledge you. For members of the media who have questions for these two big men, just hit the raise your hand icon there on the Zoom, and he'll call on you. So, Greg, let's take our first question from members of the media.
Thank you, Brian. The first question comes from James Conlon.
Hi, Dominic, Otto. Just in relation to the heavyweight division at the moment, we mentioned the top three guys, Wilder, Fury, Joshua. It's very competitive pack just underneath it. We have the likes of Luis Ortiz, Anthony Ruiz, Dylan White, and you two guys. And you're all trying to make the push to break into that pack. So a defeat for any of you this weekend in a fight that you both think you should be winning, it's going to be a long road back. Just for both of you, in terms of your answer to that, how do you feel that this fight, is it a defining fight in both of your careers?
James, thanks for coming on, man. I think it's a situation where every fight is a defining fight in your career, especially when you get a situation like ours when you're 20+ fights in. I think you get a win, it boosts you into the stats of fighting for a title, if not for a title eliminator. But at the same time, if you get a loss, it could be devastating for your career.
Yeah, I don't think this fight is defining, but I think it's a big, important fight for me, and I have a lot to give to this sport. So this is a good step up, and I'm ready for it, but it's not going to define me. I'm just going to move on from here and move on to bigger and better things.
Cheers, guys.
Thank you, James. The next question, and just a reminder, please raise your hand if you have any questions for either fighter. The next question here comes from Jeremy Harriges of Fansided. Jeremy, the floor is yours.
You got me now?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
First question's for Dominic. Dominic, obviously after that KO loss to Wilder, it could have made you kind of question yourself, but it seems to have really inspired you. How long after that loss did you decide to make all of these changes? Was it something that you kind of did immediately, and was there an urgency to your actions after that fight?
I wouldn't say there was an urgency. I definitely digest the loss probably within the first couple of days. I was back in the gym in about 10 days. I didn't dwell on it. It wasn't a situation that I wanted to harp on or bothered me for a while. But the changes definitely came. I knew I had to make changes. I knew they were going to be done in the next couple of weeks. I fulfilled that probably within the next year or so. Kind of jumped around, changed elements as far as my eating, as far as my training. And then, of course, the biggest one of all and the best one that I made was making the trainer change.
As far as working with Abel Sanchez now, what has he done, not necessarily different than Virgil Hunter, but what has he done that's fresh for you, that's made you excited about boxing?
I think Abel Sanchez does a great job of just a whole of things, from having a gym to making a heavyweight like myself run every single day. You have to remember I went from running maybe once or twice a day, if not sometimes not even at all. Definitely didn't run on sparring days, but running in the morning in the big bear elements and the snow and the high elevation was one thing. The strength conditioning that Abel does and he's there for sparring, things like that. The one thing that I did cherish and that I was involved, that I'm glad that Abel was involved with, was every aspect of it. I mean, I saw him early in the morning, I saw him in the afternoon, I saw him in the evening. He brought light to the gym. He brought a higher form of boxing education, or boxing IQ, I should say. So, like I said, I wish I would have made the change a lot sooner, but I'm glad that I did.
One question for Otto, if I may. For Otto, obviously Dominic has faced some great opposition. Do you feel like you're going to be comparing yourself, or do you feel a pressure to kind of one up some of the other opponents that he's fought in the past?
No, I don't feel a lot of pressure. I think that I just gotta be myself, and I am who I am, and I'm gonna go out there and do what I do and what I'm good at. So I don't feel a lot of pressure. This is a big opportunity for me, so I try to be positive, and I waited a long time to get to this level, and I'm finally here, and I'm not going back now.
Thank you, gentlemen, and best of luck.
Thank you, everyone. That's all from the media right now. Back to you, Brian.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, guys, before we wrap this up, we'd like to have a face-off here. So you place your mask on and stand behind the tape, and we'll get a nice little face-off.
Thank you, everyone. We'll just have to do another switch here on stage, but we'll be with you in a shorter amount of time than last time. We'll have former lightweight champion Robert Easter Jr. and undefeated and contender Ryan Martin for a super lightweight fight that will open up the broadcast on Saturday at 9 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Pacific on Showtime. Please raise your hand if you have any questions. You can get in the queue now, and once we're ready to take them, I will prompt everyone to join. Thank you.
We're good? Okay. Well, on Saturday, when Showtime Championship Boxing begins its telecast, triple header of fights, Broner, Santiago in the main event, we begin the night with a 140-pound smash, a banger. We got a former world champion in Robert Easter Jr. taking on Ryan Martin, and this one should be a good one. Two fighters who know each other fairly well. Robert, man, it's been a while. 15 months since the last time we've seen you in the ring. This will be your second fight at 140 pounds. You two squared off in the amateurs. You two have sparred a number of times. I read a quote from you in the boxing scene where you said, I don't pretty much see no difficulty in handling him and adjusting to anything that he brings. Is that because the familiarity you've had with him from the amateurs and from sparring?
No. Amateur and sparring is two different things from actually being in there with Aton. I look at any man that gets in the ring, they also have a 50% chance of beating you. You know what I'm saying? They human just like you. But like I said, what I've been working on and what I'm focused on and what I'm prepared to do, that's why I say I'm bringing my A game and I don't care about what nobody else bringing to the table.
Same question then to you, Ryan. How much does the familiarity help you in coming into this fight because you guys have been in the ring a number of times?
No, like he said, no sparring and the amateurs are so different, but I've changed so much. My arsenal is so much more. I'm focused. I'm clear. And this fight right here, it hypes. It gets me excited because we're two Ohio fighters. We got history. He beat me, so that's a chip on my shoulder right there. And it's just it's gonna be an action-packed fight, man. I'm gonna bring it.
How did you what was your response when you saw that that quote from him where he says, I don't see much difficulty in handling him or adjusting to anything he brings?
No, I kind of expect him to say that. Easter's Easter. Mm.
Bunny, talk to me about 140 because you were world champion at 135. Mm-hmm. And now all of a sudden 135 has become this hot division that everyone's looking at. With you now at 140, Adrien Broner now coming in at 140, can you guys, do you think, inject life into that division that we're seeing now at 135?
Of course. We just gonna make 140 hot. You know what I'm saying? Me, AB, we gonna just, stir up some shit. If I can say that on TV. Like I said, we coming to bring excitement to the game. 140, this 140 division, there's a lot of guys line them up. You know what I mean? Plus we coming for all the belts.
Ryan, this is an interesting test because you're taking on a former world champion. And for some, this may be their first opportunity at seeing you fight and fighting someone at his caliber. When you had that fight against Josh Taylor, you didn't let the hands go.
Right.
How important will it be for you to let the hands go against Robert Easter Jr.?
It's going to be very important. I feel this fight, it's going to be so much action. It'll shut everybody down about the Taylor fight. Like I said, I'm clear-minded. I'm ready. Saturday night, and just get in there. We're gonna let them fly.
Robert, how much does this fight make it more interesting for you, considering you do have history? This young man certainly wants to come in here and beat you. How much does that add to this?
Like I said, every opponent come in there and try to beat me. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, it's up to me. When me and my team worked on, we were ready for anything, and to get that dub come February 20th.
How different of a fighter are you? Considering, we haven't seen you in 15 months, so it's been a while. How different of a fighter stylistically in the ring are you think?
Very different. Man, You know, I've been in brawls. You know, I really haven't showed like my boxing ability. So, like I said, me, Mike Stafford, and my father, we all worked on, you know, boxing, nothing but boxing, and just being myself.
Yeah. Ryan, how anxious are you for this?
And words can't explain. Say the truth right now. I'm just ready for Saturday night. Ready to get the weigh-in Saturday night. Get under them lights and put on a show, man. It's gonna be an entertaining fight, man. That's all I can say. It's gonna be something because I know it's a lot of people saying you know, things about me versus the Taylor fight, so I have to erase that. So you know, it's kind of like I'm battling two things.
How has COVID affected your return, and how has that changed you coming into this fight? You know, because things are so much different.
During the COVID, I really had to. It really set me down and let me fall back in love with boxing. You know, being off for that time and never knowing when we was going to get that phone call to get back in the ring. So I had to focus up. You know, I had to focus up, and it gave me a different drive because I had to be ready whenever they gave me the phone call. So it motivated me at that. You know what I'm saying? Plus we had to stay healthy, all that. So my son, had to look after my son as well, make sure he was healthy as well. So that put a different drive, man. And you know, the pandemic, it just set everything back. So like I said, man, we more than ready, more than excited being here. And February 20th, man, just watch out, just stay tuned, you know.
Before we get to questions from members of the media, I want to give you a final comment here. What should people expect, Ryan, when you get in the ring with Robert Easter Jr. on Saturday?
To come with it. No, come with it. No, I always knew this fight between Easter would happen.
Why is that?
Just from honestly, I really don't know. I just always knew that we would meet again in the ring, in competition. Not just because of the sparring we did together or the fight. I just always. I think it was because I lived in Ohio and we were so close to each other. Like he was in Toledo and I was in Cleveland, and just always thought this fight was happening. I just didn't think it would happen like this in the bubble. But I knew this fight would happen.
Give us a final comment here. What should we expect on Saturday?
Saturday, February 20th. Expect, nothing but a bunny show. I'm still in the shine from my big brother AB too.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Greg Domino from Showtime will basically, for members of the media who have questions, he will acknowledge you. Make sure you hit the raise your hand icon there on your Zoom, and Greg will announce you, and you can unmute yourself and ask your question. Greg, let's take our first question from members of the media.
Okay, thank you, Brian. The first question here comes from Joel Sewell.
Hey, how you gentlemen doing today?
All right.
All right, I got a question for you, Robert. Robert, how difficult has it been for you as a fighter to train during the pandemic? I just want to know, how tough it is for a fighter to train based off the conditions we living in, with this pandemic thing. And I also want to ask you, do you feel that 140 is the best place for Robert Easter Jr. to fight, or this is not the final destination?
Training has not been that hard. We just had to take precaution, our whereabouts and, things we do. Had to swab our damn nose every other day, but that was about it. But 140 is definitely the place for me to be right now. More than excited to fight at 140. I feel stronger, and in the future, that's the future. So, but we worried about the present right now. Capturing this title at 140.
All right, thank you guys. Good luck to both of you, man.
Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. The next question here comes from James Conlon. Just a reminder, please raise your hand if you have a question for Ryan or Robert.
This goes to Robert and Ryan. I suppose many people are talking about this fight and saying it could be as good as Errol Spence against Sean Porter in terms of how close it could be. It could be really a fight of the year contender. And do you believe that this fight will steal the card on Saturday night in terms of a spectacle? Maybe Robert, you could answer first.
Of course. I told you I was stealing the shine from my big brother AV. You know, I'm coming with a lot of explosiveness and a lot of character come Saturday.
Ryan?
Could this one steal the show?
Yeah, this definitely can steal the show. You got two fighters that's coming to fight, first of all, and you can see it on the card. No, it's gonna steal.
Cheers, guys.
Okay, thank you. And our last question here comes from Jeremy Harrigis of Fansided.
Hi, Ryan. Hi, Robert. Thank you for taking the time to talk today. First question's for Ryan. Ryan, there was about a year and a half, a little bit longer from the loss to Taylor to when you entered the ring again. Can you describe, boxing-wise, what did you do during that time to kind of retool and get to where you are right now?
I just stayed working, to tell you the truth. I just of course I made the camp move, but I found the home and I continued to work for the time I took off. Nothing, COVID or anything didn't stop me, really affect me, because me, if anybody know me personally, I don't I'm a stale person. I don't really do much. So COVID hasn't affected my life one bit. And so I just stayed working, I stayed focused, and I knew I just had to wait on the opportunity again, and this is it right here, Saturday night.
For Robert, as Brian pointed out, there's some history there. You have some experience, amateur sparring, things of that nature with Ryan. Looking at some of the opposition that you've faced, Comey, Fortuna, Garcia, do you see Ryan as being on their level, or how does he fit in to some of those names?
Like I said, I respect any fighter to get us in the ring, but it's all up to me. It's all up to me to show my showcase my skills, and just bring my stuff to the table. I'm just worried about me just putting on a show, a great performance, showing my skills and my strength and everything that we worked on this camp.
Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Robert, and best of luck.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's all from the media. Back to you, Brian.
Okay, thank you. Along those lines, Robert, he asked you about some of the guys you fought. Considering you were world champion at 135, and when you look at now all the attention 135 is getting, was there any part of you when you said coming back, maybe I stretch it and stay a little bit longer and get in the mix with these guys?
No, not at all, man. And making that weight, no, I don't see it, man. Like I said, I feel comfortable and I feel stronger at 140, so that's where I'm at.
All right, love it. All right, of course, this will be the first fight of the night on Saturday night. It comes your way at 9 p.m. Eastern. That is 6 o'clock Pacific time on Showtime Championship Boxing. Robert Easter Jr., the former lightweight champion of the world, taking on Ryan Martin, two guys who've got some history here. It will start and set the table on Saturday night. Gentlemen, before we end this, let's get a face-off here. Place your mask on, just stand behind the table. We'll have a quick face-off. There you have it. Saturday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, Showtime Championship Boxing. The main event, Adrien Broner, Jovanie Santiago.